Hey y'all, it's Erin. You know what time it is? Well, it's fitness Q&A video time. It's also swimsuit season. Wanted to show you something really quick. It is called an aqua jogger, and it's really great for sprints in the water. So if for some reason you've got troubles with your feet or your knees or whatever, pick up one of these. You can get them online or Sports Authority, and you can sprint in the water, and it's pretty much the same kind of workout that you would get on land. So give it a try. Now on to the questions. The first question comes from Beth. She asks, just curious if you think bulking is actually necessary. Well, Beth, I don't think bulking is necessary, especially when you have such fresh threads as these. You want to try to stay, you want to try to put on the least amount of fat as possible when you're putting on muscle. So that being said, make sure that your nutrition is on point before the gym and after the gym. Those are the two most important times that you need to get your carbohydrates, complex carbs, and your protein. And make sure you have enough fuel to push you through those workouts. And keep your time under tension high. Do 5 sets of 8, 4 sets of 10, do a little bit more volume training, and you should be able to put on muscle. It'll be a little bit slow, but it is possible to put on muscle without putting on fat. The next question comes from Liz. She asks, is it possible to be a runner and a weightlifter? I love running and lifting, and I can't find a coach who supports both. It seems like it's one or the other. Well, Liz, I understand. While I'm not a distance runner, I'm a sprinter and jumper, and it can be hard to balance days at the track and days at the gym. So I think your goals need to be in line with your lifestyle. So if you're trying to run a marathon or super long distances, it's going to be really hard to maintain the muscle mass of, say, a figure competitor. So just make sure your goals, like I said, are in line with your lifestyle, and you can choose something. Maybe you run middle distance, and that enables you to hold on to a little bit of muscle. But yes, it's possible. It requires a lot of training and programming into your current plan, because you want to make sure you're not overtraining your legs, and you want to make sure that you really listen to your body. So distances like the marathon can be really tough. But yeah, it is possible with the shorter distances. The next question comes from Joanne. She asks, it would be awesome for you to cover why high-intensity interval training is a great way to burn fat. It would be very educational to those who are not so sure of the benefits. Well, Joanne, from the outside, high-intensity interval training is a way that you can kick butt in the gym, 15 to 20 minutes, and you're done for the rest of the day. And what it does is it gets your heart rate up, and after you leave the gym, you continue burning more calories. It's EPOC, it's excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or afterburn, is increased. So you're able to enjoy the benefits of a greater calorie burn 24 to 48 hours after you leave the gym. Whereas if you're doing steady state cardio, you might burn calories for the 45 minutes to an hour that you're on the treadmill, but once you step off the treadmill, you're done burning calories. So if you can fit in 2, maybe 3 high-intensity interval sessions a week, and you can do those for both lower body and upper body, the benefits are truly great as far as time saving, and it'll help keep your cortisol levels down too, because if you do too much cardio, it tends to stress out the body, and you'll tend to burn fat and muscle too. So it's a great way to keep an athletic look and keep your body burning like a furnace. The next question comes from Debbie. She asks, Symmetry. I was just thinking about this today. Train both sides separately with same weight and reps, but one side grows visibly more muscle mass, especially upper body. Well, Debbie, unilateral training, I think, is really important to maintaining symmetry, but also pay attention when you're lifting one side versus the other. For example, I know with rows, my left side is the weaker side, and I'll tend to kind of skew my body this way with doing rows rather than keeping my shoulders parallel to the ground. So this is where that mind-muscle connection really comes into play. Slow down, watch yourself in the mirror or videotape yourself or have somebody watch you to make sure you're pulling evenly or pushing evenly with both sides. Because a lot of times we don't pay attention and we might be doing the unilateral training, but the angles will be off. So, and then start with your weaker side and let that dictate how many reps you do on your dominant side. And it will even out, but it does require being mindful and present with each workout. The next question comes from Kevin. He asks, I am worried that if I become very fit, I will lose my dashingly good looks. What say you? Kevin, I know that's a concern for most people. When you work out, sometimes your looks go down the drain. No, they really don't. There have been numerous scientific studies to back this up that when you hit the gym and you hit the gym regularly, your confidence levels go through the roof. There's just something great about knowing that you can squat your body weight, or you can bench press, or that you have a certain power, and conquering the tangible in the gym helps you conquer the intangible. And I always say that strength and success inside the gym equals strength and success outside the gym. So there's your scientific proof right there that your dashingly good looks will only improve, and you will have much more success. So fear not, and keep training hard. That's it for this week. Until next week, train hard, y'all.